Hey guys, Connor with the Disciples here, and today I'm here with Khaled Kbies, who played at YCS Birmingham. What did you place and what did you play?
Hello, my name is Khaled. I came top 16 at YCS Birmingham and I played Memento fiendsmith. My only losing matchups for that day was Voiceless Rizio in round 1, in round 12 against Pure Rizio, and against Dinkabui in top 16. He was playing Viking, obviously. But let's get into the deck profile. So I was playing 3 Tatsu Shinigo, I was playing 3 Memento Anguish, 2 Memento Goblin, and then the rest of the Memento monsters were all played at 1. So in this specific version of the list, this is mandatory at 2 because I play the Goblin Biker spells. I play 2, but only I main deck Breakout. Anguish is by far the greatest normal summon because in this list, like, you play a lot of cards that help you dodge, and Anguish is the best one because when you normal summon her and you activate its effect to search, they can't really, they have to interact with cards like Imperm, and because you have so many dodging spells, it's like it's so much better rather than like normalling Darkblade and then trying to get to the ignition effect to activate to summon from deck, but before that they just try to interact with it and then you get like less value. Zebra is just like, it's the best, it's like it's the second best card because it's a free special. The rest of the cards are all at 1 because they're not really needed. Darkblade is full combo, but he's just not the preferred card. You'd rather use Darkblade to get like into the smaller, into like Sleepy, Gatek, Mace, Goblin, and like Anguish is like meant to just do the standard combo, and Darkblade replaces whatever got interrupted, which is why I believe is like the more correct way of thinking in this deck. And then with the spells, it was 1 field spell, 3 bone party, 3 breakout. Yes, I consider this engine because it's just way too broken. It contribute any monster, which makes it infinitely stronger. For example, like there was a lot of times where I would just do Fiendsmith combo because I would have like breakout plus engraver. I go engraver, I get to sequence, they imperm it, then you can just goblin breakout because it distributes any monster, and then you summon the goblin from deck. You can summon Aerial Eater, whatever you may like, and then you can keep extending from there. So even if they actually imperm the goblin there, like on resolution, on top of the imperm they already tried to use in the sequence, you can actually still combo there because the Aerial Eater can dump Gatek, and then through the line in this deck, you're allowed to, which I can get into in another video. Bone Party, obviously, 2 Memento Fusion, because even in Pure, you're not supposed to be playing more than 2. In my opinion, because this card's a 3 card combo, and like, yeah, it's nice to have it in your hand, but you just don't want to see it consistently because it only works well when you have like 3 cards, like 2 Memento News plus this. For the Fiendsmith engine, I played the full one, so 1/1/1 and 3 engraver. In my opinion, you do need to play like all 6 if you want to make this function properly. 1 engraver is full combo. Any of these plus another body is also full combo. And not just that, there's like a lot of variables where like this plus a bestial is also full combo. There's just so many like variables for it, and like this stuff never actually feels like you break. Like even if I have even the games where I open like multiple copies of engraver or like Lurry engraver, it actually helps you facilitate more play. For example, you could normal the Lurry, make Requiem, summon Lacrima dump engraver, then when you make Necroquip, you can engraver draw 1. And in this deck, like all the draws are valuable because you're only playing like your strongest cards. For the non-engine side, I played 15. This deck list is 45. I believe it's 30 engine, 15 non-engine. So it's 1 of Call By, 3 Droplet, 3 Talent. I played 1 Mag, 1 Druis, 3 Fua, and 3 Ash Blossom. So the main reasoning, like this card is just the best card. I don't think I need to get into it too much. Triple Tactics Talent is the all-time best card in this entire deck though. This card, every single time I ever resolved it, I won every single duel. I can't stress how important it is to have this card at 3. Every time you open it, especially in a deck like this, where you can, people are so scared of like the board that you're going to be making, that like they just want to stop you from even trying to get to it and hope and pray that you just don't have enough to make it. But this card just instantly I never talents took and I never talents drew 2 the entire in 15 rounds, not once. I always talents look at hand and it always wins me the duel like without fail every single time. Yeah, this card was the carry. So for the Bestials, I played them over the 1-for-1 and the second Dark Blade. I don't believe 2 Dark Blade is correct in this list because you just don't ever need it. You're already playing like so much engine with like the Goblin Biker spells, Engraver, and like, all the Fiendsmith stuff that you're playing so much normal summons. Like you need to play more non-engine. In the previous list was 13, this one was 15, and it works so solidly. When it came to Ash Blossom was because I was playing Eclipse prior, but Ash Blossom is a million times better because it had way more coverage. It hit every deck. It hit every deck, even if it didn't hit them in an impactful way. It normally like helped me get rid of the card I didn't want to have to deal with. As a top deck against Malice, it was a good Ash on MTP. Against Malice, like hypothetically, if I felt like their hand wasn't as strong, I'd be able to like Ash Chessy Cat, just prevent them from drawing 2. Even if they can combo, that's fine. Just like stopping them from drawing the non-engine is like the more important part. Against Mitsurugi, I can Ash Saji. Against Fiendsmith, I can Ash Requiem. So, no, like there was like a lot of good targets. Against Pure, I would just Ash Duo Drive, and that worked really strong.
How many field rushes did you ash?
Oh, yeah, this against the Mold Charmies was crazy. I was just ashing every single Mold Charmy. Yeah, this card just worked really well. I like its place in this format. For Called By, it was just really strong because I'd be able to hit the most important card. Like a lot of the time I'd let the first hand trap resolve, and then when it came to a second hand trap, that's when I would hit them because that was the card I died to. It was just whatever was more important, but this card was just really strong. And going second, it had like a lot of the versatility. I could hit Omno when I played against Mitsurugi. If I was playing against Malice, I could just like get rid of the white bind effect completely. Even if they had a Bisty or something, it would be dependent. Against Malice, it was just so wishy-washy. But Droplet was just like the best card to always like have. It works the best with Anguish. It works best with even cards like Sequence. As I said, with the whole Grand Breakout, there was times where I'd activate Sequence, they'd try to imperm it, I'd just Droplet sack it, negate that monster going into a board. That was it for the main deck. For the extra deck, the extra deck is the same as it was before. So 1 High King, the 3 Memento engine. You can't cut this down from 2. In my opinion, you should always be playing it 2-1. And in this version, you rarely ever played into like cards like Unicorn, so this was never needed at 2. I don't believe it ever will be. The tech cards, this is for the combo, this is for Engraver combo, this is just standard in Fiendsmith engine. And there's SP, Cross Sheep, and Proxy F. I'll go into lines further like in a different video regarding this, but yeah, this is like the main, like these 2 cards are like the saving grace for like this whole list and why it works so well. Yeah, without this, like this wouldn't have been a complete deck. And then there's just other Fiendsmith cards. Aghanim Day also works well with this type of stuff because I can always end on a High King because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to make like 2 level 6s. This can like reborn Engraver because in my standard combo I have an Engraver. And no, it's just the side deck. So I played 3 Lancia, 3 Chaos Hunter, 3 Meows. As you can tell, like my Malice matchup was the absolute worst out of all of them. I had to open like one of these cards and Fua, but the whole point was with like Meows and Fua, those were when I was going second plus these, so I'd have all 12 in. So if I drew any of them, I was in a good position. But the beautiful thing about like these 2 specific cards is that I would be able to. I keep them in for going first or second, and if my opponent shifted me, I would like set Bone Party or like set Memento Fusion. And like, if I have the requirement, or sometimes even normal mace, just to search for the Bone Party, and then I would set it and I'll pass. In their turn, I would Lancia them, and then I'd be able to Bone Party, pop, summon a Creation King if I had the right amount of names, or go for follow-up. That way, it's that when they're going to be ending on their half board, I'm going to be having like so much follow-up set up on their turn. And it was the same thing for Chaos Hunter. These cards came in like so hard. Like Chaos Hunter, like initially I actually did cut it because I didn't feel like it was too strong. But then this card's amazing. It won me like 3 doors by itself. One time someone Chessy Cat linked into Link Decoder, just activate the Chaos Hunter. He tried to chain a Bestial. Another guy tried to chain Impulse. I just said I don't control any monsters or cards, so you can't do that. And yeah, this card worked out every single time. There was even a game where someone had shifted me, but he tried to like play under it. When I put him under the Chaos Hunter, the next turn, when it came back to me, he didn't have Imperm. So that meant that I was no longer under shifter for my turn. So I just started playing underneath the Chaos Hunter, and I won the duel because of it. That's an idea where like Lancia couldn't do that. Lancia is just essentially like a turn skip. So against Shifter, against Malice, it didn't work out as well. But this card always came in clutch. And if you open 2, it's nice because if they out the first one, you can get the second one out. And then Meow's is like self-explanatory. This card hardly ever came up outside of Malice. And I played 5 Malice on day 1. And then for the side deck, it's 3 Encore and 3 Grand Entrance. This card is just essentially the God card, not once per turn, just outs everything. I believe in my top 64 match against Raizio Mitsurugi, I Encored his Dweller, Encored his Detonator, and then Grand Entrance the rest of his field. Yeah, Encore is just like the best. This card's like irreplaceable, especially how it reborns monsters in defense, because it means that it gives us monsters so that we can crash into with Creation King with the Bone Party Piercing, which makes it a lot easier to kill people. Grand Entrance, this card, this is probably my favorite card in the entire deck. So I side out Engine whenever I play this deck, and when I'm going second. This card is literally Engine and non-Engine. So if my opponent has a 3-Mat Detonator plus a Cross, this card single-handedly beats the entire thing. It also beats Twins of the Eclipse, like, funnily enough. And not just that, it gets you access to an engine. It makes your Memento Fusion HDP live because of the way that it functions is that they have to kind of pop the card if they really want to get any sort of like real value. So, because you would Grand Entrance the first time, detach the Twins of the Eclipse, you search and summon the Goblin for free. Then if they don't interact with this on field and they try to, you go Goblin effect, they go Rise Your Cross to negate it. Okay, you still have a body on field. And then you can just banish this card from graveyard because this card, it doesn't have to add back a goblin. It can just banish detach a material from a card. So if they don't pop if they don't pop your monster now, you're going to, if they don't pop your monster right here, they're just going to lose their last material for no reason and they can't get it back. So they have to waste their pop. You won't be able to add back because this hasn't detached a material. But the whole point is that this card single-handedly defeated the Cross, Twins of Eclipse, and that Detonator. So all I would need to do going second is just like, Memento Engine could just standardly beat the High King or beat like the non-engine, but like you use the Grand Entrance to beat anything. So for example, against the High King, you can just activate this, they have to High King it, and then just banish it from grave, detach the last material, there's no more High King anymore. This card is just like, and the fact that it was just like engine as well, I would side out 3 Fua and put 3 of this in, even if it does like play into draw a bit. The thing is, the card that you're grabbing off this plays under draw, so it worked out a bit nicer. So normally I just wouldn't really start with this. I would just start with, if my hand only had this, then that was like kind of weird because in this deck I'm playing like a lot more engine. But yeah, that's it for like all the cards I played. I wouldn't really change anything about the whole deck list. Everything felt amazing. All the ratios were really, really strong. The non-engine choices I think were correct for the format. I believe I did like a really, really good job in terms of like building this deck correctly. The Fiendsmith engine never let me down. The amount of times I comboed with a Zebra and an Ash Blossom just because I had an engrave. Like, the Fiendsmith engine is just like irreplaceable. In my opinion, it is by far the best variant of Memento. Pure Memento just doesn't have that type of, it doesn't hold a candle to what like Fiendsmith can do. And it's not like what other decks where you're just getting a High King or a Desiree. The Fiendsmith stuff, just having it there just gives you so much capabilities to combo through, play through hand traps that it's just unreal. But I will be making like more combo videos and like maybe even coaching if that's possible. But yeah, this is my profile and thank you very much. And
do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, my shout outs are for Connor, cameraman from Disciples. Amazing friend, has always helped me for testing for the past year. There's also Leo, everyone from the collective, Hamza, Omar, Vasco. Everyone's been an amazing help. There's also Koda, Corey, Brad, Pasha as well. He came top 64 of the list as well. He did an amazing job, especially on his feature. Who else did I forget? Oh, Darwin, Lawrence, amazing testing, as with Lawrence every single time. James Rispoli as well, always came in clutch. Rocco also helped with some Memento theory. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with how I did. I'm looking forward to other events as well.